But when I say I go, I'm saying I respectfully am asking for your attention. And the response is Amen. And it means you are willing to respectfully give me your attention. So when I say I go, you say Amen. I go? Amen. I go! Amen. Oh, I'm ready. Can you believe this? The two of you, Tracy, what has happened? I mean, this is this is a God thing. I'm gonna just have to say that, because from the kind of conversations that we had, we're just brainstorming to see how this thing had just grown. It's really nothing but God. But let me tell you how we came about this living with intention. And you want to know, how do we even come up with that title? Well, I came in and talked to Monique. Where's Monique? Did she step out? But I came in and just, again, make sure because I'm calling her name. I'm going to talk to her about her behind her back. But I came over here to talk to Monique about this class that we were starting at the Dedicated Center. And I said, Monique, we had our first class and it was so filled that the one woman had to get out the room because she said she couldn't breathe. There wasn't enough air in the room. And I was just telling her, and I said the class is called, living, what was the class called, Tracy? Healthy living at any age. And we were going to intentionally talk to seniors about how to live in a healthy way. And when I said intentionally, Monique stood up. She said, that's it. Living intentionally. And that's how, and I said, Monique, please sit down, you're scaring me. but that's how we got this title, Living with Intention. And so, but wait a minute. Some of you don't really know me. You say, why am I talking about this topic? I'm not a doctor. I'm going to talk about healthy living, but first thing I am not a doctor. I don't get paid like a doctor. I wish I did. But I'm going to tell you my story and why I have the mic. You see, a few years ago, I had a condition, and the condition was called diabetes. And if you have a friend or you know somebody, or maybe yourself as a diabetic, when it gets bad, they give you this needle. And you have to stick your leg with this needle every morning to get insulin coming. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a grown man, but that needle hurt. I didn't look forward to putting a needle in my leg every morning and sticking myself. And so, something happened. Right when COVID, you couldn't go out to eat and you couldn't go out to gym or whatever. And so we start going out and we just start eating at home. We start going to outdoors and exercising. And some of you may say, I have my family here, and they said, well, how could you be a diabetic? You a vegetarian. That's what they said. Yeah, you a vegetarian. But let me tell you something, folks. There's something that's called junk food vegetarian. I can eat no meat. I ain't eaten meat in years. But butter pecan ice cream, don't have no meat in it. But it's not healthy. And so for years I said, yeah, I'm a vegetarian, but you can be junk food and that can get at you. So what happened is, before the COVID, we just started doing things more intentionally and started taking some of the steps. And then I went to Dedicated. Yes, I'm a member of Dedicated. And one good thing about Dedicated, they own it. When they get your blood work, they will call you, they will let you know. And so I got some blood taken, and then I got a call from a nurse saying, doctor want to see you immediately. I said, oh my God, what did I do? When you get a call coming in, and they will call you. And so when I came in, and the doctor said, what have you been doing? I've been taking my insulin. He said, well, stop. Don't take insulin no more. Stop, whatever, you don't need it, stop it right now. He said, whatever you've been doing, he said, you have added years to your life. Stop it. Give me a clap. And when he said it, and I remember going around and I looked up on the wall and I wanted to make sure, are you a real doctor? I looked for his diploma on the wall, because who are you telling me, how can you tell me that what I've been doing, I don't need to take insulin anymore? But even more importantly, he said, you have added years to your life. That's the thing that got me, family. I mean, when the doctor tells you you're going to live longer, and I thought about that, and I said, well, what about my friend? You know, he said, you're going to have to get some younger friends. You know, so Delia, she's my friend now. She's I can't. But I said, no, that can't be the answer. I said, what if we just tried to get some other seniors like me to learn and to think, because I need to have some people around me. And so that's how I just talked. I got Tracy and I got, talked to Leah and Diane and just said, what is it? What can we do? And so that's how we started. And it just started as a simple conversation, folks. There was no big organizational plan. It just started as a simple conversation. And so the first time we met, and I asked the group this question, and I'll ask you. I asked, why do you want to be healthy? Now that sounds like a crazy question. I said, why do you want to be healthy? Anybody have an answer that just comes into your mind? I'm just take it. Say live longer. Okay, that's one. Do more.
To enjoy my grandchildren.
Yes, to enjoy your grandchildren. Let's get one. Yeah.
In order to find your own personal happiness, to know that you have to love yourself first before you can live with anybody else. And you never live unloved. Okay, my wife is telling me. So,
But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that is the first question I asked the class and the first question I asked you. Not to answer, but for you to think about, and why that is so important, and why that was so important on my journey. Because even as we try to live healthy, guess what, folks? There are going to be some bumps in the road. I wish I could say we can just decide and then no, it's not going to happen that way. There are going to be some bumps in the road. And so when the bumps happen, if you have in mind your why, it helps you to get over the bumps. And so I'm going to just tell you what happened to me. And I have a little app on my phone. It's, and I don't know if you guys know about vision boards. And yeah, you do. That sometimes you have a board that kind of reminds you of what you need to do or whatever. Well, I have a little app on my phone. It's like a vision board. And it reminds me of my why. And sometimes when I'm thinking about butter pecan ice cream salad, butter pecan salad, I had to look at my vision board. I had to look at my why to see, okay, salad. But I had to look at this. And on my vision board, I got 3 pictures that just kind of guide me. And one of the pictures, Jackie Rawls would know. Who are these guys, Jackie?
Jack Gibbs and Dr. Ruffin.
Okay, actually it's Ed Willis. Jack Gibbs and Ed Willis. and here's why, Jackie Rawls used to be the supervisor of principals, Yeah, she don't, but I don't know, I mean to out her, because if your principal treats you bad, don't get her out, she retired.
Thank
But let me tell you why, on my vision board, I have these principals who were, I was a student, and their example and with how they care for me, it's still living on with me now. And so when I have tough times, I look at those gentlemen, and that reminds me, I still gotta honor them. I still gotta work for them. And so that is one of the pictures that I look at on my vision board. And the second picture I look at, well, I shouldn't say second, but she's in there. Who's that? No, you look like Olga. That's my wife. That's my wife. 38 years. And so, now again, the question is, why do I want to live longer? I need to remind myself, okay, I gotta support her. I gotta be here. That's why I got to, I got to make right intentional choices. And the last thing I want to share with you, and I told the class last week, and it was a kind of shock to them. And it's this one here. And I'm gonna see, we have this class, healthy living at any age. And what's this class? This picture. See me? Picture of me where?
Right there.
Okay. It's a picture of me, but it was in the picture of my last class, healthy living at any age. And this is what I told the class. Y'all part of my motivation now. Y'all part of the reason why I need to live healthier, because I think of y'all in class and I said, I gotta try to keep up. And so part of my motivation now is my last class, and you don't know it, but you're gonna be part of my motivation too. I already took pictures of y'all. and when I think about this class, it gives me energy then to know why I need to live more healthy. So knowing your why is so critical. And let me go to my next thing. And then we talked about this issue of social isolation. Now, this is such a critical issue. Now, let me be clear. It's all right to be alone sometimes. And sometimes you need to have your space. But what we found out is that social isolation increases the risk of premature mortality by 30%. That being totally isolated for long times without people can harm your health, your physical health, your mental health. And so there has to be some intentionality of coming together. And that's really why I'm so excited that we're here. And we have so many. How many of you take classes at the North Y? Just raise your hand. Okay, all right. Give him a hand. And Margaret, I'm not going to embarrass you, but I want you to stand. Margaret, who teaches the senior class, just give her a hand. And what amazed me when I started going to classes at the Y, and they were exercising and doing all this, but they were like a family. They would know each other. They would greet each other. And sometimes when someone would be absent, somebody else would call them to see, why are you absent? And so, yes, they were being active, but there was a community there. And so if we think that social isolation can kill, we know what can heal and make us live longer. And really the why, and really part of it is just Margaret and her personality, does such a great job in that. And then and now I say that, now on what authority am I saying that? Well, the Surgeon General came out and talks about social isolation being an epidemic, and he wrote, loneliness and social isolation represents a profound threat to our health and well-being. So it's not just coming from me. Things that I'm just telling you is not things that I made up. And now, yes, we talked about food, and you already know my issue. I already told you my issue with butter pecan ice cream. It's in the past. But when we talk about food, we all know we need to eat more healthy. We need to eat more greens, more salads. Ooh, less oil, less salt, less sugar. We know that. But why don't we do that? Well, for me, and maybe for some of you, see, I used to kind of look my nose down on certain people. I don't do it anymore. But people who say they were like addicted to drugs and addicted to stuff, and you know, they just had to have a hit to go. And I said, you know, these people are addicted. Well, guess what, family? Sometimes we can be addicted too. We can be addicted to bad food too. I was addicted to butter pecan ice cream. And driving by an ice cream store, it would call my name. So it would say, Kwesi, come. And I'd have to go to get my hit. So if people can be addicted to drugs, is it possible that sometimes we could be addicted to food that's not right for us? And we know it's not right for us. But if it calls our name, we just go. And so what I found is that, okay, yeah, I'm addicted, but what if I try to eat healthy foods that I like and just increase those? So I'm not saying and what happened, Jackie, I found out that as I increased the foods that were healthy and I liked, pretty soon my taste buds changed. And pretty soon I didn't have a hankering for a butter pecan. I didn't want it. It just left it away. So one of the things when we talked about food is just trying to be intentional about, eating more food, and eventually, it can, the drive for it will go. And then, of course, we talked about exercise. And of course, that's a really big thing for all of us. And one of the things that we learned is that exercise doesn't just have to be in the gym. Just that, you can walk outside, you can do stuff in the house. We had people in class who started exercising while we were in class. And so the thing, and what the American Heart Association says, is try to get about 150 minutes a week. And so just being intentional about moving your body is so critical. And then too, it's also very helpful if you can do exercise in community. So that if you doing stuff in a group, or if you know someone's gonna be there waiting on you, then you're more apt to come. Next thing we talked about is sleep. And I'm gonna just tell you that was my barrier. And let me just tell you the data about sleep. Poor sleep can put you at a higher risk for cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline and dementia, depression, high blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, obesity. Poor sleep can do all that. Yeah. And I asked the class, okay, when's the last time when you were in a class and you heard about sleep and all that? They said, wait, see, we never had a class on this. Wait a minute. It can do all of these damaging things, and we have not talked about it. Have your doctor talked about it? So we need to just elevate this issue of sleep. And we talked about the routines that we need to have, being intentional about getting prepared, for sleeping at night, making sure it's dark, it's cool. And different people had different kind of things that helped them. But the key thing is you need to be, going back to Monique's work, we need to be intentional. It can't be accidental. We need to be intentional about what are we doing to get, and ideally the American Heart Association says between 7 and 9 hours. But what are we intentionally doing? Okay, and then the last thing we talked about in the class was stress. And I asked the group, and most of them are seniors, I said, well, we're all retired, we're all good, we don't have to work. We don't have any stress anymore, right? No. Wow, we have stress. We ain't got to meet the man. We can do. Oh, stress. It's still with us. We have our families and so I want to just look. There's something at your table, and I'm just trying to. One of the things that we looked at when we talked, and I just want to go over, again, everything that I talk about, I don't make up. If you don't like it, it's all good. Talk to these people at the American Heart Association. So they no, but they have doctors and this research, so I just share what they put out. But so, you know, they're stressed and they have to slow down, sleep well, let worry go, laugh it up, get connected, get organized, practice giving back, be active every day, give up bad habits, lean into things you can change. And let me tell you a story, family. When I had a class going over stress, and to be honest, it was the day after the election. Okay, I'm just keeping it 100%. I'm not gonna say it was just the day after the election, and I'm in the class, and we're talking about stress, and I go down this list, and then it says, lean into things you can change. And I'm thinking, some things that I'm worried about, I can't change. I can't do nothing about it. Why am I getting all heated and worried about stuff that I can't change? And if I get out and raise my blood pressure, then other people win. And so when I talk about this stuff, to be honest, the first person I'm talking about is me. But family, I think too, there are a lot of things that happen in our lives, whether it's anything that we can't change. And rather than ruminate and think about it and what this person should have did, and you making yourself all sick, just think about, let's just focus. Do what can you do? What you can do, then do it. And so that was a message I got out of this that helped me, sleep very good the night after the election. Now I want to call a couple of people up who kind of had been in the class, so just get their kind of thought about what they got about the class. And I'm just going to ask just a short, whatever you want to say, but I want other people to know from your point of view what you got out of the class. So she's looking at me right now. Okay. And so I just, come on up. Come on.
All right.
And just say a short word about what you got out of the class.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to share with you what I got out of the class. It's good to see everyone in here. How much is better health to you guys? Is better health good to you or not? Is it negative or not? Being in good health is what? Raise your hand if it's being in good health. All right. Why is it better in good health? It's because I learned from this young gentleman. I took his class. I was very, I'm a diabetic. And I go to extreme diabetic. And I go to dedicated seniors. And I was just like tired. Didn't want to do anything. Just leave me alone. One of those kind of attitudes. But I learned from dedicated seniors and Tracy and my brother and my sister back there that you can do it. If you have resilience, you have positiveness, you can do it in the Heart Association. I do a lot of events for Columbus. They call me Mama Columbus. And I even didn't want to go to events. But one thing I did learn from the class, the pilot class that was taken